some new players out there, some of the same old ones, but let's get through it. So we're gonna go through each schedule one by one. When it's each game one by one, and you just let me know who's gonna win.
Yeah,
Week.
sure. So week one, we start with the Bears. And by the way, I was watching like I'm gonna make this real quick, but I was watching the
Mhm.
Rich Eisen show, and they had
Okay.
the WWE wrestler Seth Rollins on there, and they asked him about this, and he goes, "First week Vikings." He goes, "Win." Seth, shut up, okay? Because I'm telling you this right now, you're not winning the first week. So week one, we beat Chicago, and the reason why I say that is because Chicago's unproven. Again, it's the start of the
Yeah.
season. They've won one game in the last 3 years, I think it was, or something like that, against us. And the one game that they did win, they kicked all field goals, and Josh Dobbs had one of the worst performances by a quarterback, and they barely beat us by 3. So I don't think they win week one. So then we go to week two. And I do think that we beat the Falcons. I like the Falcons offense. I think Michael Penix is going to be good. I think he's going to have a good season. But that defense is just questionable. You know, I think they lost some pieces. And on top of that, unless you're going to rely on AJ Terrell, I just don't think that defense is going to do good against that offense. So, in my opinion, I think we beat the Falcons. The Bengals, I think we lose. And the reason why I say that is
Mm.
because you're going up against T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and then Joe Burrow. That automatically is a headache in itself. We never have good luck with the Bengals. And then on top of that, I think this is going to be the game where we really miss Jordan Addison because he's going to be suspended for those
Yeah.
first 3 games. So I think this is going to be the game that we miss Jordan Addison, and we're going to realize Jordan Addison is a bigger part of this team than we thought. So then you go to Pittsburgh, and I'm not going to lie to you, Jordan Addison, he comes back. I think he balls, and I think we still lose to Pittsburgh. I just think
Mm.
that I like JJ McCarthy, but I think that defense, even though they're a bunch of veterans, I do think that that defense is going to give him a lot of troubles. And I'm not going to lie to you. The reason why I say we lose to the Steelers is because last year I thought that was going to be the last time we faced Aaron Rodgers. And when we beat him on the Jets, I talked a whole bunch of crap because I don't like Aaron. So this is going to be me trying to jinx them. So you know what? I don't think we beat Pittsburgh. I hope that blows up in my face, and I hope we do beat Aaron Rodgers again, and we send him out with another loss.
And
So,
Mike Tomlin does a great job against rookies. He's 25-6 against rookies.
oh
And I
yeah,
know he's
so
not a rookie technically, but yeah.
right. No, nah. He's, in my opinion, I still count him as a rookie. He's not going to win Rookie of
Okay.
the Year, but I still count him as that. And I do think that Mike Tomlin's going to have a game plan that's really going to start shaking him up a little bit. So you lose
Mm.
2 games in a row, you got to pick it back up. You go up against the Browns. It's a great way to pick it back up. I think they get that win against the Browns. I think the Browns, again, unless you're going to rely on Shador Sanders, Jerry Jeudy, all of them, I don't think it's going to be enough. The Browns defense, I don't think it's going to be that great. You know, Denzel Ward, he's really good. You got some decent guys on that team, but Myles Garrett, obviously, I can't forget about Myles Garrett. I got his jersey back
Yeah.
here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think we beat the Browns. Eagles, this is the big one. I think we beat the Eagles, and I think the reason why is because
Woo.
I think the reason why we beat the Eagles is because the Eagles lost some pieces, and they also had these rookies that are coming in and are going to be in some predicaments and some situations where they're going to have to show out. I like Quinion Mitchell. I like Quinion Mitchell. I like Cooper DeJean. But the problem is these guys are still pretty young, and in my opinion, that rookie year, I don't think. So here's the thing, Cooper DeJean, I don't think he had as good as a season as everybody thought. He had a great Super Bowl. He had some good moments in the playoffs. Quinion Mitchell, he really started showing himself later on in the season, but I don't think they had a full season of experience. And I do think that's going to play a factor if they do get in there with somebody like a Justin Jefferson. Like, because you could do that against you did really good against Terry McLaurin, but Justin Jefferson is another step. So I want to see what you do against him. And
Yeah.
so Jordan Addison will be back. If Jordan Addison's still healthy, you got those two to worry about. And then you got Hawkinson as well. I just think that the secondary is going to have some problems. And then I think that's when Isaiah Rodgers is going to come into play. And I
Mm.
think Isaiah Rodgers, being on that defense for a very long time, it hasn't really changed. I think he's got some keys to beat them. So I think that we're going to go in there and we're going to beat the Eagles. It'll be a good game. It'll be rugged, but I think we go and beat them.
And here's the thing about the Eagles. Y'all usually play them every year on a Thursday night in
Yeah.
Philly.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
like like, like on prime time. Is this the first time in a while? I think y'all about to play them at home,
Yeah,
and
we
it's
got to
after
beat
the bye week.
Yeah, not for nothing, but we gotta beat them, and we gotta get these games back in Minnesota because I'm sick and tired of playing in like Lincoln Financial Field. It's annoying.
All right, so
Uh,
a W against Philly. I like that.
yes, sir. Then next thing you know, we go up against the Chargers, and I think we beat the Chargers. I think the defense is definitely depleted. They're gonna have to really rely on Khalil Mack, And I do like their offense. Don't get me wrong. That offense is definitely going to take a big step. Lad McConkey, I mean, he's going to be a beast.
Mm.
So overall, I do think that in my opinion, I think that offense is going to be decent. They might have like a couple moments, but then I don't think it's going to be enough to beat the Vikings. I think that team is. I think the Vikings are a lot more established than them as of right now, and I think that defense for the Chargers, I think it's kind of it might have some holes in it. I think Jim Harbaugh is going to have to tweak those, but I think that we go in there and we beat the Chargers.
Yes, it's not a big move, but they just recently signed Keenan Allen. Also, bring her back with
Right,
Justin Herbert.
and again, you got to think about what Keenan Allen you're going to get because last season
Exactly.
he didn't really have a great season, and I mean it all depends on what you want to put that on. If you want to put it on Caleb Williams, and that's one thing. If you want to put it on Keenan Allen getting too old, that's another. But overall, I mean Keenan Allen, I don't think he's going to be the number one on that team. I think Lambo
Yeah,
Anlo that spot, and I don't know if you're going to see. I don't know if Keenan Allen's going to be number two. I believe they still got Quentin Johnson too, right? Or they
yes, they
go to
do.
a different. I can't remember.
Butterfingers.
Yeah, but hey, Quentin Johnson at TCU was a beast. So
Mhm.
who knows if he goes in? Who knows if he gets into his prime a little bit? Who knows what that potential starts showing? So overall, I just think it's too much for the Chargers. I think we go and beat them.
All right.
The Lions. If we don't beat the Lions, I swear I'm gonna like blow a gasket. Like this is the same team, just with different missing pieces. They don't even have the same pieces that they had before. You lost Carlton Davis. Like it's the
Mm-hmm.
same team. Stop losing to them. That's all I gotta say. Just stop losing to the Lions. Go beat them one time. That's all I'm saying. If you can't beat the Lions once this year, I'm literally gonna be pissed. Like it's not gonna be a pretty sight. Like don't talk to me when we face the Lions and we lose. It's gonna be a tough game, but the Lions their roster just looks too similar. I do believe KLC is a smart coach. If he can't figure out that team by now, there's a problem. We have different pieces, so Dan Campbell's really gonna have to go into his bag and figure that out. How to go up against some of these guys, how to attack that new offensive line because it is a lot more improved than last year. He's not going to be able to just fully blitz Sam Darnold. So I
Yeah.
do believe that he's going to have a couple things he's going to have to actually figure out some things. I think there's going to be some things that he's going to leave on the Dan Campbell's going to leave on the table. I think the Vikings come out with a win on week 8.
Okay.
Week 9, we lose to the Ravens. So we go on that nice little winning streak and then we lose to the Ravens. And the reason why I say that is because I do believe as much as Lamar loves those 40 touchdowns, I do believe that he is still a great player. He still is very athletic. I do think he is a hassle for a lot of defenses to go against. But the biggest thing is that secondary. I mean, that secondary is a problem, man. I mean, we can go over it, but it's going to be a tough secondary to go up against. They had Marlon Humphrey. You're talking about just Kyle Hamilton being on that team, and overall, I mean, when you're really looking at them, that's a really hard secondary to go up against. And excuse me, like I looked up the depth charts and everything, but they got a really good corner last this offseason. And it's slipping my mind, man. Like I'm actually like looking it up because it's actually slipping my mind. Like Jair Alexander, Mr. Everybody calls him Justin Jefferson's father, right?
Oh yeah.
Now look, they better be real careful on who they put Jair against, because you better keep him on Justin Jefferson. Because if the guy named Jordan Addison is still on that team, let's not forget who Jair Alexander's father is. His name's Jordan Addison. Okay, Jordan Addison got more than one child, and Jair Alexander was one of them. I'm just saying they better be real careful on who they put Jair Alexander on. You want to go up against Justin Jefferson? Feel free. And on top of that, Justin Jefferson, let's not act like Justin Jefferson still don't want to get his lick back against them.
Exactly.
So I do think it's going to be tough, but I do think that secondary, I think that it's going to be, I think they're going to cause a lot of problems. I think Lamar Jackson's going to cause a lot of problems. You got Derrick Henry over there too. Overall, it's a really good team. I think that they're going to come up short against the Ravens.
Yeah, and don't forget, Jettis will get his lick back. Remember Darius Slay? He shut Jefferson down, and then he saw him again, and he went crazy. Y'all lost still, but it wasn't because of Jettis.
Right. And overall, I mean, I do expect Justin Jefferson to adjust if he gets put onto him again. But you could say the same thing, maybe Jair Alexander wants to get his revenge on Jordan Addison if that's who he's matched up against. Who knows? Overall, I still think we lose to the Ravens. We lose to the Bears.
What?
Yes, I think the Bears are better. I'm not going to say they're not, and I do think Caleb Williams is going to take a step. I'm not a gigantic step, but he's going to be better than what he was last year.
Mhm.
I don't dislike Caleb Williams. I think he's cool. Like there's some things I disagree with that he does, but at the same time, Caleb Williams, I do think he will improve. I do think he will mature, and I think from week 1 to week 8, that gives you enough time to figure out what to
Exactly.
do. And I do think that this division is probably the toughest in the NFL. So, in my opinion, I do think that they get a decent win against us week 8. I'm not saying they're going to obliterate us or anything like that. It's going to be a close game, but I think the Bears will get a win against us week 8. I'll give them that.
But this is week 11. Week
Week
11.
11, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it completely different. My bad. Week 11. They get a good win against us. The Packers. So I think we beat the Packers. I think we
Okay.
beat, and the reason why is because what moves have they made?
The draft, they got that receiver. That's what
Luther
everybody's talking
Burden.
about.
Is it Luther Burden?
Nah, it's
No, Luther Burden's on the Bears. They got the Golden guy, right?
yeah, Golden. Yep.
Golden. Okay, it's not gonna be enough. Like it's just not. I'm sorry, that one rookie's not. If he changes everything, kudos to him. I don't think he will. I think we beat the Packers. It's too familiar of a team. I don't think they
Okay.
made enough moves to even adjust. Big game, Seahawks. I like Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold's gonna have some moments. I think we beat the Seahawks.
Okay.
I think he went up against that defense every week, but you know what? Most of that defense went up against him too. And I think Sam Darnold's gonna have a good game, but at the same time, if you know how to beat Sam Darnold, you constantly blitz him, and they're gonna have to put that offensive line on the Seahawks. They're gonna have to really test them. And if that defense can get through, again, you talk about all those guys who can establish pressure, who can get to a quarterback. The D line, I think the D line in that Super Bowl with the Eagles and the Chiefs, I think they proved that the defensive line might be one of the most important positions in football now. So I do think that that's how they're going to beat Sam Darnold. They're going to really rush him. They're going to really blitz him. And I think when he's rushed and under pressure like that, and you can constantly get to him, I think that's the best chance you have to beat Sam Darnold. And I think they're going to do a good job with that. So I think we beat the Seahawks. Week 13, the Commanders. Ain't this your team?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this one's complicated.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I think we lose to the Commanders.
What?
I think we lose to the Commanders. I think it's going to be a really close game, a really good game. But the reason why I say we lose to the Commanders now, look, Terry McLaurin, who knows if he's going to be there or not. That's something that's up in the air right now. But it's not about Terry McLaurin. When you go and you look at that defense, you guys got a really good defense. It's a veteran defense. And then you guys just got Von Miller. I do think that when you put those veteran pieces together against a rookie quarterback, and those veteran pieces still have some prime in them, guys like Bobby Wagner, guys like Von Miller, they got the IQ to really outsmart a rookie quarterback. And I think it's going to be those types of teams, the Steelers, the Commanders, the Ravens, the teams that have veteran defenses that are going to basically cause JJ McCarthy a lot of trouble because he's going to have to really try to outsmart some veteran defenders who've been in there against some of the best. And I don't think he's going to have the level of intelligence to do that. He's smart, but he ain't that smart. So I don't think he's going to be that smart enough to outsmart somebody like a Bobby Wagner or a Von Miller, TJ Watt, Jair Alexander, or Marlon Humphreys, guys like those. So I do think that we take a loss to the Commanders. The Cowboys, I think we beat the Cowboys. I think everything's just up in the air with them. You know, Trayvon Diggs, he's injury prone. Again, maybe he'll be there, maybe not. Who knows? I don't expect Micah Parsons to be there.
Oh, you say you don't?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a very that defense it's gonna have a lot of problems, and I do feel like that Minnesota Vikings offense is gonna piece them up if they're healthy. So I do think we get that win against the Cowboys. Giants, we get that win against the Giants. I do think that offense is a little bit too young. And I think that with a veteran defense that we got, the guys like Grenard, Van Ginkel, I think they're going to play a big part in that win. And I think that we go in there and we beat the Giants. I think that we're going to go in there and we're going to give Scatterboo and Tracy a run for their money. I think Malik Neighbors, he's going to have maybe some moments, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think that he's not going to get stopped, but I think he'll have his moments, but he's not going to have a full effect on that game.
Okay.
So I do think that the offense is too young for the Giants. I think we go in there and we beat them. The Lions beat us the second time around. Again, I do think the Lions are good. I think we're going to split 2 games with them, and I think the Lions take the second game. I think that overall it's going to be a split between 1-1. And then the last game, the Packers. We go in there and we beat the Packers twice. Again, it's just too familiar of a team. I do think the Vikings got a lot of versatile pieces. I do think they're going to use those versatile pieces. I think guys like Dallas Turner are going to have a big impact. If you put guys in like Levi Drake Rodriguez, he's gonna have a big impact. Guys that they don't expect, I think that they're gonna really switch those pieces around. You're gonna put Javon Hargraves in there a little bit. There's gonna be a lot of guys who have a big impact on this game. Guys that you wouldn't expect. And I think they go in there and they beat the Packers. So my overall record prediction for them, I think they're gonna go 11-6. I was saying that before I even looked at the schedule. I look at the schedule, it solidifies that. To me, I like 11-6. I don't think we're gonna go 14-3. I would, or 15-2, nothing like that. I would like us to do that, but it's not gonna happen. 11-6, and I think we get further in the playoffs. I think JJ McCarthy gets a big playoff win, and I think maybe he goes to the divisional and he loses the divisional. I think the max and the ceiling for him for this year is gonna be NFC Championship.
And y'all going 4-2 in the division.
Yeah, 4-2. Yeah, I think we lose one to the Bears and one to the Lions. And a lot of people are going to criticize me for the Bear ones, but I do think we will split one apiece with the Bears. Because I do think that the Bears, I do think that when you play in week 1, we will beat them week 1, I think. And then you have an 8-week. They have 7 to 8 weeks to prepare for that. They're going to be a different team. They're going to get the pieces clicking. So I do
they're a
think
very talented team too.
Yeah, they're very sneaky, underrated. I just think it's going to take some time for them to mesh. That's really it.
Yes. Okay. So yeah. So it's looking like your biggest win streak is a 4-game win streak, and you're going to have two 2-game losing streaks. All right. So 11-6. I mean, that's definitely doable, especially after what happened last year, 4-2. But the difference you're saying is instead of going 14-3 and losing in the first round, you're going to go 11-6 and win in the first round and move further in the playoffs, which is more important.
Right.
So all right, cool. So we got that out of the way. And lastly, bold predictions. We gotta get your bold prediction. This is the fun part right here. People want to hear this part. They want to look at you and say,